Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. Hi all, enjoy a dose of love from the angels and a discussion on self-acceptance. I'll share a few stories about some lovely souls I met who practiced it in different ways and some tips on how we can start to embrace self-acceptance in our own lives. Have a blessed and beautiful week, smiley face. And message from the angels. My dear friends, we love you so very much. Take a moment. Put your hands on your heart and simply sit in appreciation for yourself. Each of you is a brave soul who chose to incarnate upon this earth at an incredible time in the evolution of humanity. Before you came to earth, you knew you would be in perhaps one of the most intense, beautiful, fast-paced, and challenging times your planet has seen. You are connected as never before by your devices and your internet. News that once took months to reach you now flashes in front of you within seconds. You barely have time to integrate one idea when the next is presented. Before coming to Earth, you knew that the incredible buffet of life experiences would catalyze all sorts of desires to create. You knew you wanted to create more light, love, and joy in many different forms. Some of you were so excited about raising children who would easily know their worth after you worked to find your own. Some of you knew that you'd engage in relationships that would challenge you but would also catalyze you to forge ahead bravely, learn to love yourself, and step out of age-old roles that no longer served you. Some of you incarnated to preserve the most beautiful elements of those age-old roles. Some of you wanted to be humanitarians. Others wanted to nurture an animal. Some of you love to play with plants and coax forth their finest fruits. Others of you love reading, dreaming, or planting seeds in the energetic realms for others to find and grow. Each of you has contributed love to this planet in your own unique way. No matter how much or how little you think you have accomplished in the 3D world, each of you has contributed to the vibration of love. Material objects come and go. Money comes and goes. Everything you do in this 3D world will come and go, but the energy of love you create here on this earth lasts forever. You may not think much of the love you leave behind daily, but we see you emitting it like a lighthouse all the time. Even when you feel down, you take a moment to snuggle under a blanket, appreciate its softness, and love goes out into the world. Even when you sit at home in the house you admire, puttering around, you are admiring your home, feeling cozy, and emitting love. When you are kind to someone, you are emitting love. And when you took the few seconds to appreciate yourself, you were emitting a mighty beacon of love. So be gentle and kind to yourselves. Acknowledge yourselves often and criticize less. You deserve your own love, dear ones. You deserve your own appreciation. You deserve whatever it is your heart desires. The more often you can be kind to yourself, the more you let in the desires that are trying to reach you on a high vibrational frequency of love. This holiday season, give thanks for the gift that you are upon this earth. Unwrap the present that is you by sharing a smile, a kind thought, or a prayer. You are all lights on this earth. As you look at the lights in your holiday decorations, imagine how we see you. You are all bright bulbs on the tree of life. You are all here with one purpose alone and do it without even thinking, far more often than you realize. You are here to love. We give thanks for you are earth angels bringing this love into your 3D world. God bless you. We love you so very much. The Angel's message from Anne. Hi everyone, like many of you, I was raised in a culture where I often witnessed self-criticism from those around me. Pointing out your flaws was far more socially acceptable than acknowledging your features. Bragging was seen as pompous, while negating yourself was normal. Knowing what I know now, that's just backward. Little kids are delightful. They brag about their art. They do an off-kilter cartwheel and land like an Olympic gymnast, arms outstretched with pride. They look around to see who saw them do something they're proud of. They love acknowledgement, and they love to watch others do things well, too. That type of self-acknowledgement is natural, normal, and native to the soul. Little ones don't care if they do something better than anyone else, they're just proud of who they are. Nothing about them is pompous, arrogant, or off-putting. If anything, their pride in their actions and who they are is endearing. We love people who truly are at one with themselves. They have an innocence and a natural charisma that makes you like them even if they're different. This weekend, I went to an event and sat next to the most endearing young couple. It was clear they were at one with themselves and one another. The girl was covered in tattoos, wearing a low, long boho skirt and a crop top with a vintage coat. None of these were my style, but she was adorable. She explained her tattoos and their energetic and personal growth significance. Her boyfriend was kind and explained that he was working to embrace the things she was interested in but not as good at yet. They were so at ease with themselves, proud of who they were, and comfortable in their own skin. You couldn't help but love them. I had a wildly different experience a few weeks ago, with the only common denominator being the fact that a young man I ran across was so comfortable with himself even in a state of profound discomfort that you just had to love him. I went grocery shopping late at night, and as I went to the passenger side of my car to put the groceries in the car, I heard the most ungodly sounds coming from someone in the truck parked near the driver's side. I was almost afraid to round the corner to get in, so I let the love lead. As I approached the source of what sounded like someone hurling demons from hell, I tentatively said, "Are you okay?" Expecting a person who looked as terrifying as he sounded, I was totally taken aback when a darling young man who obviously had way too much to drink lifted his head and gave me the most angelic grin I'd ever seen. It was as if his expression said, "Yeah, I know I'm better than this, and this was pretty stupid, but thanks for being nice to me. You'll feel better soon," I said, sent him some energy, and got in the car. Once on the road, I laughed till I nearly cried. Talk about self-acceptance versus self-criticism. Even in that miserable state, he owned his condition, owned his goodness despite bad choices, and was endearing. If that young man could acknowledge his goodness despite his unpleasant state of being, why can't we? I know the answer. We can. We just have to learn new habits, smiley face. And the good news is that self-acknowledgement, self-appreciation, and self-acceptance always put you in a state of agreement with God, your angels, and your soul. Self-acceptance attunes you to love. It opens you up to the help you desire. It may not come easily. We can't fake it with words that we don't feel. We have to choose it, own it, and feel it. When you can let yourself, be proud of yourself, or at least accept yourself, you are beginning to see yourself through the eyes of the divine, and that is always a good and powerful perspective. Smiley face. Here are a few tips for self-acceptance and self-appreciation. 1. Cultivate the habit of self-acknowledgement. Like any new habit, we have to start small. Start to find things that you feel you did well. Start to look for small things you did right. You poured that cup of coffee with precision. You made a good breakfast. You ate breakfast. You made it to work on time. You were kind to someone. You noticed the beautiful sunrise. You don't have to do this out loud. You can do it quietly. You can journal it. You can get a self-acknowledgement. 2. Cultivate the habit of self-acceptance. The angels taught me this, and it is a powerful habit to embrace. When you catch yourself criticizing yourself, remember the name of God that He gave to Moses. I am who I am. Say to yourself, in this moment, I am who I am, and that's okay. You get frustrated. In this moment, I am who I am, and that's okay. You get sad. In this moment, I am who I am, and that's okay. You get snarky. In this moment, I am who I am, and that's okay. Of course, we want to do better, but while criticism holds us bound to what we're focusing on in the past, self-acceptance frees you to do better as you move forward. 3. Challenge yourself to talk about one thing you do well this week. Challenge yourself to be willing to talk about one thing you do well, and tell Spirit you want a recognizable opportunity to do so when it can benefit all involved. Watch what happens. You'll be around someone who needs insight into something you know well. You'll see a comment on social media that you know you can help with. Some opportunity to share the good in you will arise. You don't have to brag in the conventional sense. You aren't pretending to be better than anyone. You're just becoming like a child and owning something you do well for the purpose of uplifting others. Intend this and see what shows up. Smiley face. As we own our gift, we offer a lift. I know most of us are far quicker to criticize ourselves than to acknowledge ourselves. But while self-criticism undermines our manifestations, self-acknowledgement boosts them into high gear. God loves you and accepts you. The angels love and accept you. Your soul loves and accepts you. Why disagree with those connected to love and the source, in whose eyes we are always perfect even as we expand into more? Have a blessed week. Love, Anne.